This is Professor Pete Alexander with the Winning at Business and Life podcast, where business leaders share their insights. It is 6 questions in 7 minutes because successful business leaders are busy and rarely have more time to spare. So let's get to it. Question number 1, in a few sentences, please tell me who you are and what you do.
Hey, I'm Russ Johns with the Pirate Broadcast, host of the Pirate Broadcast, Pete.
Russ, it's so great to have you on the show. You are Mr. Celebrity. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Question number 2, what's the best thing about working in your industry?
Meeting people and that are doing interesting things. It's always fascinating to me of how people arrived at what they're doing and how they got to that point in their life. So it's fascinating to me to learn more about people.
Yeah, and I love how you just go with whatever direction the guests are taking you on the show, and you find out some great things about them. It's really fun.
Never know where it's going to lead.
Exactly. Question number 3. I have a fictitious book with all the answers for business. What chapter would you think most companies should read?
The one about building a relationship and adding value to the equation. Every time you turn around, every time you take a moment of time, just make sure that you're adding value to the equation, regardless of the outcome. Just continue to build the relationship, and it always comes back in tenfold. So that's the one that everyone should read and adopt in their business.
I love it. I definitely agree with you there. Question number 4. Other than that generic work harder, have a great attitude, and care for customers, what advice or insight would you give to other business leaders?
You know, the advice that I always love to give is kindness is cool and smiles are free. You know, I share that because not everyone has a smooth sailing ride in their careers and their life and everything else. And you don't know what other people are going through, and you don't know what other people are suffering from. So if you're kind and considerate and have a little bit of empathy for others, it's really something that you could travel. It travels miles, and you never know where the ripple effect's going to end up.
And I think that's a great metaphor too. You never know where that ripple's going to end up. It's true that doing something positive for somebody and stuff, you never know when it's going to come back, but it will come back to you eventually. Would you agree?
Absolutely, absolutely. It always returns, and you never know when it's going to show up or where it's going to be there. You know, there's been many times where I've had bad days, and I'll receive a phone call out of the blue from somebody that says, "Hey, I appreciate you. I was just thinking about you. I wanted to check in." And it always amazes me. And I'm always surprised and delighted. So, you know, just put it out there and it always returns.
I love it. What a great message. Question number 5. What other business leader like yourself would you like to acknowledge and invite to be on my podcast?
You know, I would love, I know there are many that we're mutually connected and put into place. And one of the people that I think would be really a new perspective and somebody that's grown some great things is Mark LaCour from OGGN. I had a conversation with him, and he's doing some amazing things out in the market in a vertical industry that not a lot of us know a lot about. And Mark is good on camera. He's articulate. He's been developing a lot of good things in the market today. So I would love to have that conversation with Mark and Professor Pete.
Perfect. Thank you for that referral. I'll reach out to Mark. And our final question number 6, please tell me about your first job.
You know, my first job where I actually recall receiving money for was, I was probably 5 or 6. I was on a construction site pushing a broom that was larger than myself. And the owner came up and I was, you know, there. My dad used to drag me out of bed on Saturdays and take me to work. And he pulled out a bill from his wallet and gave it to me. He said, "Doing a great job. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it." And that's a memory that will stick for me for the rest of my life. So just go out, work hard, do some good. And it always the payoff will return.
I love it. And I just saw your face light up on camera. So that's an awesome story. So Russ, thank you for being on the show. How can people find you?
Just go to russjohns.com. I'm there for the Pirate broadcast and any kind of connection that you'd like to achieve. And always LinkedIn is a good place to connect with me.
Perfect. This is Professor Pete Alexander with the Winning at Business and Life podcast. For more insights and ideas, please go to LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, or iTunes and search for the Winning at Business and Life podcast. Thanks for listening.